Okay, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach the Bible in 100% truth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, starting with the 144,000, consisting of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in the land of North, Central, and South America, as well as the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners living amongst the other nations. Shalom to you. So, back on the topic of prophecy, and the last couple of days, there's a few videos gone out on the subject of the year 2024. And there's a lot of good information coming out regarding movies that have had subliminal messages in them regarding the year 2024. We know according to prophecy, we're waiting on the implementation of the MOTB and the destruction of World War III. There's only two things that have to happen, and then we have the return of Yahweh Shai. So, we know that World War III is pretty much on a knife edge with the situation that's going on in the Middle East, and we have the BRICS, which is about to go live on January the 1st, 2024. So that's ultimately going to accelerate de-dollarization and bring in the worldwide economic crash quicker. So we know 2024, there are a few things that are going to happen. Things are going to accelerate according to prophecy. And, Lord willing, this could be the year that we're out of here. If not, 2025. I couldn't really see it going beyond that point, according to prophecy. So 2024 is a big year. And, when you consider what's happened in the last 3 to 4 years, 2020, 21, 22, 23, things have accelerated. And, we're definitely in that time where, the very, very last days, we're in that time and we're seeing prophecy being fulfilled rapidly. And these are major prophecies. And, we're seeing them, come to a head. It's major to the MOTB and the Third World War. So 2024 has got a lot of attention already, especially, like I say, with these subliminal messages. We know that elites have an agenda, they have a plan. Nothing is by coincidence. Even the presidents, the prime ministers that they bring in, it's all, a part of an agenda. And they've got people out there, thinking that they're having a vote and having a say, but really and truly these, this beast system with its two horns has just, behind the scenes been orchestrating everything and bringing us to a point where they're going to implement this new system, this new economic system, this new kingdom, according to them, this new empire, this new age, the digital, financial digital age. So we know this is an agenda, and obviously looking at the subliminal messages, we're pretty much looking at the messages coming from the elites of this particular empire. And we're saying, well, they've clearly earmarked 2024 to be a huge year. And, like I said, we hope that it's the year that this Third World War starts. For that to happen, the MOTB has to be made mandatory around the world. And, ultimately, America has to be annihilated with nuclear ICBMs. So we're waiting on that to happen. And we're looking at 2024. Now, we know Amos 3:7 says, surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. The lion have roared, who will not fear? The Lord Yahweh has spoken, who can but prophesy? So, the men are out here giving you the warning to these events that are due to take place. Mainly the men of GMS. If you notice at the minute, we're approaching 2024 and only the men of GMS and anybody teaching, I'm not part of GMS, but I'm pretty much teaching the same thing. And so anybody in that particular category is going to speak to you at the minute about the year 2024 and give you this warning as a true prophet should. And you'll notice out there are these false camps, these false prophets, false teachers, and none of them are talking about 2024. So they are unable to prophesy. They don't have the secret. And you'll notice that because, when you look at their scriptures and the breakdowns, they get them wrong, or they make huge, grave errors. Maybe they're doing it on purpose because they've been paid, or maybe they're doing it in error. But the point of the matter is, if they're making mistakes, then they do not have the secrets. Those unaware have not knowledge to share, so they don't have the knowledge to give you. They don't have the secrets. So that's one thing to point out. You look at the minute, there's a definite vibration going out there, a warning coming from the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, and that warning is going out on multiple platforms. Yet you can connect these people because they all relate back to the men of GMS or anybody teaching the similar message, the same message. Anybody that's not bringing that message to you at the minute is not tuned in to that frequency. So, and I've brought this one out before, Deuteronomy 18:22 says, when a prophet speaketh in the name of Yahweh, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which Yahweh have not spoken, but the prophet have spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him. Okay, so this is speaking of these false prophets that tell you of these things that are due to come to pass, but they don't come to pass. And the Most High is showing you that these so-called prophets are speaking presumptuously. So on the flip side, the true prophets, the true men of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, are able to prophesy, do have the secrets. So when we tell you the things that are due to come to pass, and then they come to pass, the prophet have not spoken presumptuously. So at that point, you should be wary of the message that he's giving you. And that's the point I'm making today. You've got these messages going out regarding 2024, and only certain people are giving you this particular message. To that, 2024 is going to be a huge year according to prophecy, and some major dramatic events are going to take place. You can call them black swan events, false flag events, and these are going to bring about the acceleration of these two major prophecies, World War III and the MOTB. So 2024 is a big year. Now, before I move on, I've got a little bit of information regarding 2024. But before I move forward with that, we got the Urim and the Thummim. This is something you should understand according to the scriptures. It says here in the Hebrew Bible. Don't forget the Old Testament was pretty much written in the Paleo Hebrew. So today you're reading the Bible and it's in English, and you think it's the same Bible. But it's in a different language. It's not in the Paleo Hebrew, and that's why when we read the modern day English Bible to you, we have to go back to the ancient Paleo Hebrew for the Old Testament, or the ancient Greek for the New Testament. But it says here in the Hebrew Bible, the Urim and Thummim are elements of the Hoshin, the breastplate worn by the high priest attached to the ephod. It says they are connected with clemency, seeing into the spirit world, understanding, messages from the Most High. In ancient times, obviously, people had to go to the high priests if they wanted understanding from the Most High. Why is it that I'm not able to bear a child? Or why is it that I've been born with this particular disease? Is there a way of curing me? So on and so forth. And it says that they're connected with clemency. Most scholars suspect that the phrase refers to a set of two objects used by the high priest to answer a question or reveal the will of the Most High. So, you see a picture here. You can see the breastplate pretty much on the high priest. And, it's attached to that. It says, what is the purpose of the Urim and the Thummim? It says, considering the scholars' conclusion that Urim essentially means guilty and Thummim essentially means innocent, this would imply that the purpose of the Urim and the Thummim was an ordeal or an ordeal to confirm or refute suspected guilt. If the Urim was selected, it meant guilt, while selection of the Thummim would mean innocence. It's going on down here a little bit further. What do the stones, Urim and the Thummim, symbolize? The stones are black and white, with the colors representing yes and no, answers to questions. So it says here, so Melchizedek tells Santiago that he must only ask objective questions of the stones. Because of this, Urim and Thummim symbolize certainty and objective knowledge. So, again here, who gave Urim and Thummim? Says the Most High provided a Urim and Thummim to his prophets in ancient times. See Exodus 28 and 30, 1 Samuel 28 and 6, Ezra 2 and 63. So this is something that's given to the prophets. Is the Urim and the Thummim first appear in Exodus 28 and 30, where they are named for inclusion on the breastplate. So, in ancient times, you pretty much had, the prophets of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and they had the ability to connect directly with Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, receive messages, receive understanding, and give the people warning or give the people understanding on certain situations. You're looking at the screen here and you're seeing a depiction, a picture. You see the high priest with the breastplate. And there's more than likely to be Aaron with Moses. I'm not actually looking it up, but that's probably what's depicted here. And you can see the Bluetooth connection pretty much coming from the sky, from the Most High Yahweh, straight to his prophets, giving them the messages. And that's what makes these men of the Most High, of high stature. And they are able to give messages, give understanding, give warning before an event takes place. So just like you have on the left-hand side, you have these wicked elites in the world today who run this society. They carry out divination and they get understanding from the spiritual demon Satan, and they have their agenda, their plan, and they'll put the messages out there in the media, in the public eye, in a hidden manner. And so if you're of the understanding, you'll be able to pick up these messages and see them before time and know this is a warning. Similar thing happened around 9/11. And similar things happening now with 2024 when you look at all the, like I say, subliminal messages that are going into the movies regarding the year 2024. And we know that, this is a big year according to prophecy. And 2024 is something that I've spoken of for a while. I've mentioned it a few times this year, and I've mentioned it previously to that. The first time the Spirit led me to earmark 2024 as a big year was in 2018, which is, quite a long time ago. So effectively, I've been speaking of 2024 since 2018, which is when I first came into the truth. And I've explained before, I came into the truth, via a spiritual encounter. Pretty much what you see here on the screen. You have a Bluetooth connection coming directly out of the sky, bringing a message to this particular person in the picture. And I've explained before, I was at a point where, in 2017, I had no idea about the Bible, and I didn't read the Bible and knew nothing of the Bible. And in January 2018, I had an encounter where this Bluetooth connection comes out of the sky, out of nowhere. And what it does, it comes out and it hits you in the head, and you have to take notice of it. And what Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai does is then puts information into your mind and downloads information. And I've explained before in previous videos, I was shown 3,000 years of people coming, out of Egypt, going across the earth, eventually getting to the sea, and then going across the water into the Americas, the North North, Central, and South America, the whole section. And through this spiritual encounter, I was given that direct message and shown that direct information without reading the Bible, without knowing that the information was connected to the Bible. I was just shown this particular information. I saw many different religions, many different groups of people, and many different empires along the way. And what it showed me is pretty much the story of the Bible from ancient Egypt to America. And in that vision, I was also given other bits of information. The hand is given into the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. I was shown that I was told that the Bible was for me. So what I was receiving was a third party, voice, if you like, information given to me, third party. It's not something that falls into your mind and then you have an epiphany and then that light bulb moment goes off. This was a direct information given to me from third party. Now, you could say that's Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, so more than likely Yahweh Shai giving that message, but then Yahweh Shai would send the Holy Spirit, the angels, to you. So at this point, there's probably angels around the prophet that you can see on the screen, but in understanding information into his mind. But obviously, because you can't see that, in the world that we live in, all we can see is the sky. So you tend to want to look up. You hear this voice, and all you can do is look up, because first of all you understand. You want to understand where this voice is coming from, and you look up and you realize this is the Most High speaking to you. When this happens, it's the Most High, because he lets you know this is, somehow that this is a message from the Most High coming. So straight away, that vision came, the Bluetooth connection that you see in the screen, like that coming out the sky appears, you pay attention, you witness it, and then it disappears. And so now you're a completely changed person, because you've just received all this information. And even my own identity, who I was told, look, you are one of these people and these scriptures are for you. So this one particular quick, fast moment, all of a sudden the Most High has the ability to give you information which is the truth, and you have to address it in your mind, and now you have to readdress your whole identity and the whole meaning of life that you've actually created in your mind. So it's quite a drastic thing to take. And you read the prophet Daniel, and he speaks of receiving visions, and then his cogitations changing. What it is, it messes with your brain. So for me, for example, that one moment, receiving that one Bluetooth connection, pretty much took about 10 months to get over that scenario, because you're trying to address what you saw. You're trying to find other people that because I knew this information was from the Bible. There was lots of things that I understood after that vision. I understood that the Most High is sending his son back. I knew his son was pissed, and I knew it was coming very soon. And I knew that I had to find someone out there who was teaching the Bible according to what I've seen. And ultimately, down the line, the only people that could actually do that were the men of GMS, that actually break down the scriptures according to what I saw. So that's why I give double honors to them, because at the end of the day, they're breaking it down correctly. So it's like being born as a musician, and so music is in your spirit, and you can't tell me what that music is, and you can't tell me what you're going to play, but at some point you're going to really want a musical instrument, because you're going to say, the spirit is in me and I have to release it, and the only way I can release it is with the musical instrument or by singing. So that's ultimately what the musician does. You have to give them the tools to express what is happening, the feeling within their spirit, within their soul. So, for back to myself, for example, receiving that connection, that Bluetooth from Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, being shown 3,000 years, all these different religions, all the certain secrets in the world, certain lies, certain information, being given the true identity of who I actually am. all that, like I say, messes with your mind. All that information is suddenly given to me, but into my spirit, into my soul, through that Bluetooth connection, like you can see on the screen. And so then you have this feeling, you have this understanding, but you need to express it. You don't know how to express it because there's so much information, you don't know where to start. And that's where, you have to go to the right teachers. That's where the men of GMS come in, because they give you the instrument, just like the musician, which are these scriptures. And so, once you pick up this book, the men of GMS will teach you how to play the scriptures. And once you know how to play this instrument, you're able to express that feeling within your spirit. Those born as a musician want to express the feeling of music through their musical instrument. And those born to give you the prophecies, the secrets, those who receive that Bluetooth connection information in their spirit, changes them. They need to express it. So you need to go to the right teacher who will show you how to play the instrument, which is these scriptures, to be able to understand each particular individual prophecy, line them up in order, and then wait for them to take place. And obviously teach of them in the meantime, the secrets of the scriptures, the coding, how to understand it, so on and so forth. So that's the process I went through to come into this truth. And that was 2018, January. And so since that moment, there's been other moments where, again, I received this Bluetooth connection. It's not something I can control. But, when Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai decides to, give me certain information, he'll give it to me. And, I try and express it and try and speak it according to the scriptures. So from that point, the initial encounter that I had, I knew obviously at some point I had to start to speak according to the scriptures. And I then realized that, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai would give me information beforehand, and I'd have to speak of it and it would come to pass. At first, if you like, I went to school with Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Certain things were taking place around me. I couldn't understand what was going on. And I realized that the Most High was showing me how these things were going to turn out in the end. So then the skill was to learn to be able to speak them and formulate them and give them out as a message before they actually happened. So when the lockdown came in 2020, and when it was actually 2019, I started to tell people, even though I wasn't making videos at the time, I hadn't got to that point, and people around me, there are people out there that know that when 2019 came, I told them that, very soon things are going to shut down. You're going to have the sport is going to shut down. I don't know why, but for some reason I had that in my spirit. So eventually, the lockdown came, and then I started to teach, started to make the videos, and then, when the thing that they tried to put inside you in 2020 and 2021, that worldwide event, that juice that they wanted to put inside you, I had another Bluetooth connection. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai showed me directly, the third party voice. And the reason why I call it a third party voice is because normally, when you actually contemplate and realize in your mind, normally on a day-to-day basis, you have two voices. You have your own voice in your mind, which is seeing the things that are going on around you. And then you have your own spirit voice, which you talk back and forth to. So, you might be about to cross the road. You say, I better get to work. I'm really late. You're about to step into the road. And you look up, you see a car coming, and you step back. And then your voice that was a second ago worrying about getting to work now says, fucking hell, I nearly died. That was close. Nearly got hit by the car. And who is that voice talking to? It's talking to your spirit. And then your spirit goes, do you know what? Next time, pay attention to the road before you cross the road. So you have, I know people say, voices in your head, that's mad, but that's because people have a lack of understanding in this world. But you actually do have two voices in your head, because you talk to yourself when certain things happen. You say, I can't believe, you see something, you say, I can't believe what I'm seeing. You may not speak it out loud, but you're speaking it to yourself in your mind. But But then when the Spirit comes and talks to you directly, that's a third party voice. So you're like, well, who's this dude? Oh, this is the Spirit. And the Spirit says, well, check this out. I can show you stuff. It's a third party speaking directly, shows you that, what they're doing is creating a circuit within your body. And so, I spoke of it, I mentioned it, didn't really understand how important it was, but I just mentioned it anyway. And lo and behold, about a year later, we started to see scientific evidence of that juice creating a if you like, electromagnetic circuit around your body, and able to send signals and so on and so forth. And obviously since then you've seen a lot of people get sick, so on and so forth. A year ago, again, the Spirit showed me that, this World War III is going to happen within 3 years. I said to you 2023, 24, 25, but I said 2025 is leaving it to the last minute. So I doubt it's going to be, I pretty much think it's going to happen before that. And that was last January. And, lo and behold, you can see in October this year, 2023, October, you can see the situation in the Middle East with Hamas and the small hats have kicked off. And ultimately, this is according to scripture, the least of the flock are drawing out the other nations. And obviously this is going to develop into World War III. So that's why we're saying to you, we look at it on face value, and it's clear to see that 2024 is going to be a big year, according to prophecy, according to World War III, and according to the MOTB. And everybody's pointing at that 2024 scenario. So, understanding what I've just explained to you, I'm not trying to brag, I'm not trying to boast, I'm not trying to put myself up on a pedestal, I'm not trying to compare myself to anybody. Can only tell you, my little self, my little insignificant self person, my main job in life is to go to work and earn enough money so me and my family can live in a house and eat. That's pretty much what my life is based around. Yet Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, gives me understanding and secrets. He sends teachers out there to teach you the instrument, which is the scriptures, to be able to express yourself. But sometimes, there's a habit of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai sending me direct information through the Holy Spirit, through the angels, so I can receive direct third-party understanding on certain things. And that's what takes you back to, the only reason why I go into this is because to show you that this warning is real. You need to take note. And so that's why I always take you back to Deuteronomy 18 and 28. Because when a prophet speaketh in the name of Yahweh, and the thing does follow, that is the thing which Yahweh have spoken. The prophet then has not spoken it presumptuously. You need to take heed of the warning. So when I'm saying certain things to you, even though I'm insignificant, this is one person on my own, I'm able to break down the scriptures and call on the name Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. I'm able to tell you certain things that are due to take place according to prophecy, directly from the message I receive, and you see them come to pass. And you've seen, like I say, you've seen the Third World War. I told you within the 3 years, you got the circuit, the circuitry that they're trying to create within you. I mentioned it before, the scientists mentioned it to you. And another thing is the 2024. Now the 2024, like I say, I had this particular vision and I didn't really know, what it was all about. Eventually I found the teachers, the men of GMS, they broke down the scriptures and it makes sense. You go, oh, that's what I saw. So now I can describe what I saw by going to this chapter or that chapter or this prophet or that prophet. And so you're able to express what you've seen. And then there's other information coming in, understanding this and understanding that, going through certain scenarios. And the whole time since I had that particular vision, the whole time for some reason 2024 has been a big year for me. I've understood that I don't know why, but for some reason, like I say, I had this particular vision. I didn't understand prophecy. I didn't understand the timeline, but for some reason, 2024 felt like a very significant year. And then eventually, like I say, when I come across the men of GMS and I learn the scriptures, you put the pieces together, and then you realize, okay, this is the things that are due to happen. And then I looked at it on a real scale, 2019, 2020, and I thought, wow, this could happen by 2024, but a lot of things would have to take place between now and then. And then since 2020, 21, 22, and 23, things have started to escalate more and more. And that's why I started to mention the phrase 2024 more and more. Earlier on this year and last year, I've mentioned 2024 is a huge year. I don't know if it's the year that, the return of Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, but it's definitely something, it's major, it's definitely going to go down. And now here we are, the last 2 days or so of 2023, and all the signs are there. All the prophets are speaking of it. So, this is not me just catching on to my own idea. This is really truly is the Holy Spirit giving me this message. The other men with the Spirit on them are coming out with the same message. Watch out for 2024. All this information is coming out about subliminal messages, the BRICS, World War III. Everything is good to go. So it's all, working out nicely according to prophecy. And this is the truth. This is the real, those, you want the direct message from the Most High, what He's about to do next. Only certain men can give it to you. Those are the men of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. So like I say, I've always mentioned 2024. And 2024 is the year, like I say, I don't know if it's the year that Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai returns. No man knows the day or the hour, the time or the season. So it could be this year, it could be next year. But I definitely knew something major was going to go down in 2024. The year Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, it's, going to bust your shit like Bolo. Now, you might know Enter the Dragon, the movie Enter the Dragon. And in that movie, there are good guys and there are bad guys. And one of the villains was Bolo. And the Most High, he's plays both sides in this scenario, in this story called prophecy. So it will be down to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, the fact that, the righteous will be saved, the elect. But, all the trouble that these other nations and these 2/3 Israelites are going to receive in this up and coming time, it's also Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai that is going to play the villain. And so, he's coming at these other nations and these other, these Israelites that don't take this word seriously. He's coming at them like Bolo, come to bust their shit like Bolo. The name Bolo, when you actually look it up, is a large single-edged knife used in the Philippines. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai has come to bust their shit like Bolo in 2024. So what else is going on in 2024? See, that's the feeling I get. The feeling I've had this whole time. That's the year that Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai comes to bust their shit like Bolo, 2024. But I didn't know why. But now, like I say, there's all this information coming out about subliminal messages, the BRICS, the third woe. And here's another one. This is, regarding eclipses. And don't forget, eclipse, represents judgment. When you look at certain things that have taken place throughout history, they coincide with solar eclipses. For example, I don't know if it's World War One or Two. I think it's World War One. It was pretty much triggered at the time when there was a solar eclipse. So they tend to signify judgment. That is when the moon is between you and the sun. Now this article here, Eclipse America 2023-2024. And you look at this on the map here, and you can see October the 14th, 2023. So this is around the time that, that whole situation started down in the Middle East. and you had this particular eclipse cutting across America. And in April the 8th, 2024, you have another total solar eclipse cutting across the opposite direction across America, creating the X. X marks the spot. X marks the spot for the ICBMs. Come World War III, this judgment is coming to this place. Now, so this is something else to add in, to that particular process. Now, before I move on, when I had that particular vision, like I say, back in 2018, Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai showed me 3,000 years. He showed me people coming out of Egypt. At the time, I didn't know who these people were. He showed me them going into all these different religions and philosophies and empires and taking on all these customs. And then he showed me them going to the Americas. And then he showed the sword which came across America and cut through it and chopped it. And I understood that was the people and everything, the place, the people, everything. The Most High was just chopping straight through it, as if to say, this is what I'm going to do with that place. So, when I was looking at that vision and I saw it play out like a movie scene, the sword that went across America went in that particular angle. What you're seeing on October the 14th, it cut across America in that direction. Like I say, when I walked away from the vision, it's like being hypnotized. And what does the hypnotist say at the end? He says, and you're back in the room. So when you're back in the room, and then you're trying to get on with your normal life, but now your head's fucked up because you just had all this information, you don't know what to do with it. And then I started getting the understanding of 2024. And what's interesting about 2024 is you have the other swipe. So you've got this first solar eclipse, which replicates the way that Yahweh showed me the sword cut across America. And then understanding that 2024 was a big year, you now know that the other solar eclipse that cuts across America goes in the opposite direction, as if it were a knife, as if it were a bolo, as if Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai come to bust your shit like bolo. North America will soon be treated to 2 major solar eclipses. This was written before October 2023, about 3-4 months ago. This article was written before that to show you that you got this one in October and this one in April, an annual solar eclipse and a total solar eclipse. It says here North America will soon be treated to 2 major solar eclipses when the sun, moon and earth align on October the 14th, 2023. So that was about a week after Hamas started their attacks. I believe that was on the 7th. And at this stage, the small hats had gone into that, particular war, and the whole world, when you look back at the headlines, the whole world was pretty much couldn't believe, we're actually starting to witness a genocide. So, division was started to be created, that huge division that you're seeing now, the division that Yahweh Shai is coming to bring. You saw it in a major way around this date. It says on October the 14th, 2023, anyone under clear skies within a path that sweeps from Oregon to Texas and then through parts of Central and South America will see an annular ring eclipse. So that was the one in October. It says here, just 6 months later on April the 8th, 2024, a total solar eclipse will sweep from Mexico to Texas to eastern Canada, plunging the day into night and revealing the magnificent solar corona for anyone fortunate to be within the path of totality and under clear skies. So nearly everyone in North America will have a partial solar eclipse both days, weather permitting, blah, blah, blah. This is back-to-back American solar eclipses. So this is a description of these two. X marks the spot for those ICBMs to land. Like I say, the sword, Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai showed me the sword come across that way, from left to right, in the vision. And then I understood that 2024 was a big year. The X gets completed in 2024. It says back here, back-to-back American solar eclipses. So now this is taking you back to August 2017. It's about 4 or 5 months before I had that particular vision. It says, do you remember the total solar eclipse that crossed the continental United States from coast to coast on August the 21st, 2017? If you lived in or travelled into the 70-mile wide path of totality, where the moon completely blocked the sun's bright face and turned the day into night for a few minutes, you undoubtedly remember it well. If you were outside the path under clear skies somewhere else in North America or northern South America, perhaps you saw a partial solar eclipse that day. So the 2017 total solar eclipse was the first to touch the lower 48 since 1979 and the first to span the US from coast to coast since 1918. Remarkably, another total solar eclipse is coming to North America on April the 8th, 2024, just 7 years after the last one. This time the moon's dark central shadow, about 115 miles wide, will cross Mexico, sweep northeast from Texas to Maine, and then darken eastern Canada. A partial solar eclipse would again be visible to nearly everyone in North America, fortunate to have cloud-free skies. It says even more remarkably, we'll have a different type of solar eclipse in North America just 6 months earlier on October the 14th, 2023. The moon will again pass directly between Earth and the sun, but this time it will not completely cover the solar disk, instead turning it into a ring of fire. The annular, Latin for ring-shaped eclipse will be visible within the roughly 125-mile path of Oregon to Texas and northern South America. And again, North Americans outside the path will be treated to a partial solar eclipse. So, these things are rare. And they're saying that the one that happened in 2017, a total solar eclipse, and then for it to happen again 7 years later, another total solar eclipse on the same land, that's quite a rare thing to happen. But it's happening to Babylon the Great in America, and that will be completed on that process will be completed on April the 8th, 2024. And then obviously, amongst that, you've got the annual solar eclipse, which came across in October 2023, is around the time that the world started to wake up to the genocide of the Stinians by the small hats. So, these are all spiritual messages. X is marking the spot. Like I say, just after that first total solar eclipse in 2017, a couple of months after that, I had the vision. And then the Most High cut across America from left to right with the sword, with the bolo. And then 2024 is all. Ever since then, 2024 has been a huge year in my mind. At the beginning, I didn't really speak about it so much because you don't really know where it's going. Don't really make sense. But as we've got closer, the last couple of years, last year 2022 and this year 23, I've mentioned it a few times. Probably mentioned it more lately this year, from the summer onwards, because we're seeing the way that things are developing. And even in the summer, I did make a statement that we have the calm before the storm, and then since then we've had this situation with the Hamas and so on and so forth. So World War III is on a knife edge. Usually, like I say, these solar eclipses signify judgment, and Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai is definitely marking X. X marks a spot. This is a spot where the ICBMs will land from all around the world. So World War III is on a knife edge. 2024 is going to be a big year, and we're expecting a false flag event to bring in the MOTB. And ultimately, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai is coming to bust your shit like bolo. To those Israelites that don't get down with this truth, and to the members of the other nations. So like I say, the only reason why, I keep mentioning, these visions and so on and so forth is because I'm trying to show you that, there's a direct message coming here from Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. It says here, Romans 16:25, it says, now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began, but now is made manifest, and by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandment of the everlasting power, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith. And that's coming. All these nations are about to find out, and the prophets are out here warning you. Remember, when a man comes in the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, tells you what is going to come to pass, and then you see it come to pass, you must take heed. So if I've told you, World War III a year ago, I said to you, World War III, the least of the flock will draw them out within 3 years, and it took 10 months to come to pass. Previously I warned you not to take the juice. I said if you take the juice, it's going to ultimately create an electrical circuit around your body. A year later, people, dying and suffering from that particular thing. And then the scientists brought out the information. They said, yeah, this is some sort of, something growing inside these human beings. This is all coming directly from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. According to scriptures, according to the prophecy, this is understanding that I'm able to give you. So like I say, it's not something to sit here and brag and boast about. If I were to do that, then ultimately quite quickly Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai would remove the understanding from you. So you have to stay humble and remain grounded with the understanding that you're given. But at the same time, you have to appreciate, how many people on earth today can say that they're receiving understanding via Bluetooth connection directly from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, through the angels, through the Spirit, through the Holy Spirit, like that. This is why these other nations and these elites of these Edomite empire, this is why they're shook. This is where Revelation and 11 comes into play, because they can hide this information, they can bury it, they can create a school and educational system and teach you a whole bunch of lies. They can hide it from you, but they can't stop us from having this information. We're able to give you an itinerary of what these wicked elites are about to do, how they're bringing forth their plan, and they're scratching their heads. How can these men do that? How can they do that? How can they know what we're about to do and warn the world? It's because we have that Bluetooth connection from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, the true men of the Lord. And so like I said, if you look around the world today, you look for prophets, anyone that's warning you that 2024 is going to be a huge year, more than likely that's a prophet of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. There are many people out there claiming to be prophets of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, riding on their horses and their fancy garments, but you're not going to hear any warning, any message regarding 2024. They do not have the secrets, they do not have the Bluetooth connection. So like I say, it's nothing to be big-headed about, but I gotta say, all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai for doing that, for giving the warning, giving the understanding. Like I say, this 2024, I've had it since 2018. I knew 2024 was going to be big. I didn't know why. I didn't know what was going to happen or how it was going to develop. Since then, I've managed to learn the scriptures from the Mem and the GMS. All praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai for that, for putting that out there. And then now it all makes sense. We're on the cusp of 2024, and something major is about to go down. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to bust your shit like Bolo. So I hope that's edifying. Until next time, I'm going to say all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakah Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.